And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is your Sensei Al Bob on the down low. Are you next? Well, World War III in China. You know, if it wasn't so obvious, it's unbelievable. Meaning, since you know, the Tower of Babel, we have been in this position of being slaves, right? And most people don't know they're a slave. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. And welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. And just checking in with you. I only have about 37% of my battery left. So this is going to be short and sweet. So hope you're doing well. Um, let's see. What happened to mine? Oh, we're going to take a little swing through the Bloom's book of healing wounds. Let's see. What do we need to heal the world's situation? Trust. This rune is restoration. It calls for rebuilding a belief in yourself and in your life, and in if you have fallen away in your relationship with the divine. It has been seen or said that faith is not belief without proof. It is been said that faith is not belief without proof, but rather trust without reservation, and that trust, when cared for and respected and encouraged, the self blossoms. Trust is the divine medicine. I trust everyone. Now I verify, but um, for some drawing this room, ask to show trust in present situation. For others, it calls for embracing the change. Now, guys, we are being pushed into this whole situation: war with Russia, war with China. Now, the bottom line about China is this whole thing got started, way long time ago, but in essence, it was started with Donald Trump when he put on all of the taxes on the imports of things from China, right? You didn't need to do that, Well, I'm going to be tough. Well, those things never do any good. And that's the thing that started rupturing the chain of supply, the supply chain, right? He did that, and it started to rupture the supply chain. And then COVID came on, and that, and the Chinese have to go crazy, double down on, putting all billion and a half people under lock and key. Now they're doing that because of political reasons. White folks are getting. Hey, there she is.
Hello. How are you?
Always good.
Oh, you have no tools for the trade, do you?
No.
Let me get that for you.
Could you bring me a large to-go cup with a lid of coffee?
Of coffee, and you need cream with that too?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, I will. Do you need anything else besides?
You could take. I poured the creamer into there. I could probably use another whole.
Sure, I'll take care of that for you. Do you need some ice water?
Yes, please.
Sure. Oops. Look what I've done.
Yeah. That's okay. As long as it's not.
Sorry, Al. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, if we don't, it's not even hidden. Is that you, tool guy?
This is Tool. Yes, it is.
Hey, Heckam.
Is this Owl?
You got me, baby.
Oh, this is Owl.
Yeah, this is me. Yep.
Awesome, man. How are you?
You know, I live like a millionaire on $400, a month,
Uh-huh.
and the little pittance that I get from PayPal. They now have this thing where you have to they show you 6 pictures and you have to pick out detractors. And 2 you can kind of see, but guys who like me are blind, they're like dark and gray. You can't see them. So I can't access my account unless I can do that. They call that a security test, So that's
Oh, the security test. So you can't access
Right.
PayPal, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I'll get my. I don't know if you've ever seen me wear my goggles, so they're like magnifying things. So I'll just go get my magnifying glass. Anyway, but that's the kind of little things that are like annoyances. But it really just keeps me sharp to be patient, right?
Right. Because
Patience.
you know it'll work out
Right.
as long as
Right.
you're not afraid to take that step
Right. To be
and
patient.
let it happen.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
they brought my lunch here, and they didn't bring a fork, so I have to eat it like a pig out of the trough.
Oh, God.
But that's okay because it doesn't bother me. It just bothers the uptight people who are sitting next to me watching me eat the food, licking it.
Well, I'm glad you called, man.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
bet.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me where we are live on the live show, if that's okay with you.
Okay, absolutely, yeah. So
You're
I
the guest.
gotta
You're
say
the
though,
guest. You're the guest.
I just had a robot crash at my current job, so I only got about 5 minutes.
Okay.
But I live in Michigan, Metro Detroit.
Yep. Thank you, John.
And I currently work as an automation. I'd say more maintenance engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So I fix robots, machines,
So far, so good. Enjoy it.
so on and so forth.
Do you work on big robots or little robots?
Right now I'm working on smaller robots. They're heavy, 400 pounds, but smaller robots. And they drive around on a grid.
Right.
And that's what picks all the orders for Kroger fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
So I technically kind of work for Kroger, but an engineering company that's partnered with them.
I never worked for anybody. I was always a consultant, right? So,
yeah, that's my goal. That's my long term.
Never got a paycheck. Never really, So I worked for John Hopkins, and they were big time robot folk back in the day. And I bet you they still are, right? John Hopkins still do a lot of research in robots?
I haven't looked into John Hopkins, but I'll have to check them out, see what they do.
So in the 70s, basically the technology that I was exposed to was we could have had automated trucks driving the highways in the 70s. And, having electric cars, EVs, are a joke because, to want to have, replace gas stations with charging stations, it's like a joke.
Because it is a joke.
All you need to do, have you ever had an induction coffee pot?
An induction what?
Coffee pot. Your teapot goes on a base. It doesn't connect to electricity, and yet it heats right up, right?
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All they'd have to do is put a little strip when next time they go, redo the highway. You just put a strip of copper in there, and every vehicle that rides on it would get inductive current into the car, so you wouldn't even need a battery. And they could have done that in the 70s. And General Motors actually had a track in Detroit in the 70s that did it because they actually made a really good electric car called the Volt in the 70s. And it was so
Okay.
good, they got rid of it because people
Oh
had
my
it,
God.
loved it, because it got 600 miles of charge in the 1970s.
Oh my God. Wow. Can you
during the
imagine that?
right and during the oil embargo, and they sold them for about 5 years. And I bought, out of junkyards, 4 or 5 of them. I lived up in Woodstock. I lived with this inventor guy who was truly, really amazing. And they came, and I don't even know how they found me, but they found me, and they wanted to buy those cars back. Well, I had the title on all of them. I said, no, not going to do it. They paid
Yeah.
$70,000 a car.
Wow.
And
That's
I paid,
amazing back then, huh?
and I paid $50 a car. I bought them out of a junkyard.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah. 70 grand.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, here in Ann Arbor, you've heard of obviously University of Michigan,
Oh yeah.
U of M.
Yeah.
They're actually building a highway, which kind of, I understand your point, on them basically trying to make electric vehicles the thing now. But they're building a highway that recharges electric vehicles when you drive over it.
Right.
So, not like your way, the way it should be done, but
Well, even
they are
better,
doing that.
did you ever study any of Tesla's? He built a thing called Warden Cliffs in Long Island in 1891, and he transmitted electricity around the world. And he discovered in his experiments in Colorado Springs 0-point energy.
Okay, yeah. So he had free energy, and who's the tycoon that took him down?
J.P. Morgan.
J.P. Morgan. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep,
sounds about right.
And he's a guy who, and Edison was just a huckster. I mean, he was no brilliant anything. He just stole people's stuff and marketed it. Right.
Right. He was a businessman.
And he precipitated. I mean, Morgan and his buddies precipitated a collapse in the 1880s, which forced everybody and his brother. But Edison couldn't transmit his electricity more than 6 miles, and
Wow.
Tesla was able to generate electricity in Niagara Falls and transmit it all the way to Chicago.
Wow.
When they had the big Chicago World's Fair, the big technology expose. And so that's when AC. So okay, Morgan said, okay, we're going with AC. So Nick made a little money on that. But no, keep going. What do you want?
Oh, I just on the similar subject. Was Tesla a poster boy in your opinion?
What was it?
Was Nikola Tesla? I've heard different opinions about Tesla, and I've heard people claim that he was actually not really the inventor, and he actually got these technologies elsewhere.
No.
And then Edison and them took those technologies from him.
My electrical mentor, the guy who taught me to be an electrician, had the first master electrician's license in the world. And he had that because he was Nikola Tesla's bench electrician. You know what a bench electrician is?
Okay, yeah, it's like a bench hand, like
it's a guy
assistant.
You get the Tesla would design something, and he'd hand it to my mentor and say, build it. And so there'd be drawings and equations and all that, but my mentor had to do the stuff in between. No, Nikola Tesla came up with everything. Period.
Okay.
So you can take that from the horse's mouth.
Right. Okay, good to know. Yeah. I'm sorry, Bob, but I got 2 400-pound bots to take off the grid.
Okay, so one last question before you. I've been watching, I watch everything. I don't have real expose to the internet, but I see that there are some really robust military robots that are just like human beings. You know, they run on legs and have arms and handle guns and can shoot better than any human being. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't really worked with them. I think we're going to be integrating them into the company I work for. I don't want to say their name really,
Right.
just because
We're on air. We're on air.
Right. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be integrating them. We already use a lot, not really AI, but a lot of machine learning.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, they're going to replace, in my opinion, this is my opinion, they're going to replace, the workers that bag all the groceries and all that.
Or everything. I mean, whatchamacallit, Dollar General around here, they've just destroyed all small business, and they have these trucks that come in, and they lower the shelves. The shelves are on wheels, and the robot and the shelves drive themselves into Dollar General, and the old shelves roll themselves out. People don't even take the stuff out of a box.
Yeah, and I know Walmart's right now in the process of building their own automated facility as well. Also, I heard Meijer is integrating robots to stock all their shelves and all their stores.
Right.
So, it's expanding. I mean, and you got like companies, Boston Dynamics, and
they're cool people.
The ones who really focus on the humanoid robots.
Yes,
with
those
AI.
are guys who have the army guys who shoot and kill.
Exactly. Those are the ones that we gotta look out and make sure they're not letting this get out of hand, because
that's why they made the movie Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But all right, Bob, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I got people are waiting on me upstairs. So.
I got you.
I'm glad you called, man. Let's talk again soon. Let's do another live show.
All right, and I have a another email. I got your email since you emailed me. I'm gonna send you some of my writing.
Yeah, send me your writing.
Okay.
I'd love to read it.
Okay, handsome. Later.
All right, you too, brother. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bum 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 bum.
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, so there's the man from the horse's mouth, right? So, how much juice do I have left? Oh, 18%. So another 10, 15 minutes, none of that. Well, like I said, here's Mr. Marfugo.
I want to save the girl. Get down there first. Oh no! Lava there.
Oh, lava.
Water first. Oh, the lava's frozen. The girl is saved.
Oh, no.
Stupid orc. Try again. Freeze the lava.
What's your life on that?
What is going on, guys? It's Adam aka Marf, and this is Marfugal News. Before we get started, I just want to let you know today we're going to be talking about what is happening. Of course, Taiwan's presidential office website hit by cyber attack ahead of the visit. We're going to talk about worst case scenario. Pelosi could become Franz Ferdinand, if you are familiar with that horrible story in history. Xi plans 4 days of military drills in areas encircling Taiwan, essentially surrounding the island. The UN chief warns world is one step away from nuclear annihilation, and Nancy Pelosi, of course, meets with the Taiwanese president. So before I get into my notes, and these articles are going to be over on marfugalnews.com. But I do want to make a disclaimer. I'm not here to scare people. The main point of this is for the people that are following this closely, you are voluntarily watching my content. If this makes you scared, or if scary stories makes you scared, you're a grown adult. If you don't like scary movies, turn the scary movie off now. As far as what I'm doing, again, there's a ton of stuff that has happened that we called. And again, you don't have to be a genius to see through what they're saying on mainstream and really put together 2 plus 2. But the last video I talked about how there was speculation that that plane that left Hawaii was actually Nancy's plane, and that it basically left, and then radar kind of switched off, and they blocked it, and then it ended up back in Hawaii, and they said that essentially it had engine problems, and that it turned back to Hawaii. Now, it's not confirmed, but the timing of that and her actually arriving and last minute kind of them announcing after she had landed that she had landed kind of makes me think that maybe they spoofed the radar and made it look like it turned around when the real plane actually kept going. So again, this is all stuff that just a few days ago they said, oh, she could visit a month from now, she could visit 2 months ago. Again, and we're talking about it, and we basically told you, like, in the next 24 to 48 hours, watch out, she's going to be there. Now, most people had a huge sigh of relief when she actually got there and said, oh, I got a bunch of comments saying, oh, she got there and nothing happened. They didn't take down her plane. Well, the sigh of relief is a little bit early because right now they are doing live fire drills and they are encircling the island. Now, there's question if they're actually going to put up a full-on no-fly zone. There are no-fly zones around where they're doing these drills, and that's kind of what happened with this as far as they didn't do a full-on no-fly zone, but what they did is they blocked these areas over the drills, and the drills encircle the island. So they're saying, hey, we're doing this here, so you can't fly out through there. There are tons of speculation saying that she's stuck on the island. I don't know. I would wait on all of this, but what I would say is pay attention to what comes next. Okay, this is getting to the point of all of this.
The thing is to pay attention next is why did she go there? What things were going to be voted on? How does this screw up the politics back home?
Stuff that we, tons of my peers and myself have been warning people about for years and years. Before Vlad went into UKR, a year before that, he did all of these same kind of drills as far as they went and took over 100,000 troops to the border. And then all of a sudden it started a year later. And we talked about it when nobody was. And now that everybody's talking about it, people are going, oh, you're just talking about what mainstream's on. We talk about things before it happens because we're looking at common sense stuff. This is what 99.9% of people should be looking at. Again, beforehand, not when it happens and when it's on Fox and CNN and all of the channels. So it doesn't take a genius. Again, if you are new, and it's a very low likelihood that you're new to this channel, just remember all of this is over on the website, marfugalnews.com, and then you can also get to the full bibliography. The Taiwanese presidential office website hit by a cyber attack ahead of Pelosi. It says the attack took place hours ahead of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. It says the Xi and his country government threatened to take action to respond to the trip, and Taiwan is reportedly readying air raid shelters in anticipation of a potential attack. I also want to point out that they just called back what we covered yesterday on TV. Is they just called back all of their men and women on leave in the military. They said, hey, come back and prepare for conflict. Now, does that mean it's absolutely 100% going to happen? No. But again, when we found out that, Pelosi's whole staff had hotels booked and people still thought, well, it's a tentative visit, it might not happen. It's kind of obvious that she was going to stop in and stay the night. As far as the drills and what they're drilling for, I mean, it's put out there right in front. Now, whatever you believe, if you believe that this is all a show and a distraction, I guess I more look at the point of what is going to be the distraction they're going to tell us next, and what is going to be put in the history books, and how are they going to play this out in front of us, whether it is on a stage in LA or faked on whatever. it really won't matter if they do say that we go to a full-scale conflict with Xi or with Vlad. Most people in their head are just saying it's just never going to happen, that there's too much money involved. What we have learned over the last 2 years is that it can separate. We had a period where we weren't getting anything from Xi's country, and we saw the results. Businesses, huge, big box retailers went straight out of business when they weren't getting their stuff from Xi. We know that we're extremely dependent on Xi and his country for a ton of stuff. In fact, I just saw a video that was put out by Canadian Prepper. He did a really good job of explaining that not only if something happens with Xi's country, will we be out of the stuff from his country, we'll also be out of stuff from Taiwan. Taiwan makes all of those chips and still does, and those chips basically run our planet right now. And that's because everything is electronic now. We have basically made ourselves completely and utterly dependent on electricity, on electronics, on the internet, on our cell phones, and all of those things can be ripped from us in a moment's notice. So as far as them hacking and doing this, I don't know who actually did it. We don't know the facts behind this. We just know that they're reporting that there was a massive DDoS attack on the presidential office of Taiwan. And then we have worst case scenario, of course.
Whoops. Okay. So that's today. What's going to happen tomorrow? You're next. You're next. You're next. Anyway, so I'm just about to run out of juice. I don't like to run the show out without exiting safely. So here I am exiting safely. I'll talk to you in who knows, in a day or 2 or 3 or whatever. I mean, this is the last money I have. This is it. At least in my pocket. So, okay. Love you. More thumbs up. Get more people to watch. Let's have some comments. Good to see the folks who joined the chat. Eddie Boy and Rhonda and the other guy. Okay, and our guest, Mr. Toolbox. So I'll talk to you later. Okay. And come on, end.